Hi, this is Dr. Patricia Coughlin. I am a clinical psychologist, a teacher, author, therapist, and I'm really passionate about doing work of depth and meaning and significance in as brief a period of time as possible. So how do we get better at what we do? How do we get more effective and efficient? There's really a whole science to this. And I'm going to share with you just, some of the things that I'm becoming aware of as I do research on this. First of all, as a psychotherapist, videotaping your work is probably the single most important thing you can do to begin to improve your practice and your outcomes, and particularly having others view that videotape with you and getting supervision. Actually, practicing under pressure is going to improve your performance. It also turns out that the very best therapists have superior metacognitive skills. In particular, they have superior working memory and pattern recognition. So just think about ways you can really tax your memory. So often these days, the minute we forget, the title of a book or the actor in that movie, we immediately Google it. I mean, we're basically outsourcing our memory. So you want to be doing all kinds of things that tax your memory, where you have to keep a lot of things in mind and then work on what you have in mind, as well as things that are going to help you recognize patterns, whether it's chess or whatever it might be, or strategies in tennis. I mean, think about it. How can you really improve your brain capacity in these two crucial areas? The other thing, so much of this is counterintuitive. You would think that if you just practiced specific techniques and discrete skills, that it would surely improve outcome. And yet there's no evidence that that's the case. Instead, if you focus on what you're trying to achieve, what your outcome is, particularly, let's say, a therapeutic outcome that might be intermediate, not the complete resolution of depression, but what are the steps that are going to be required for you to achieve that goal? So let's say you're really trying to help a patient see and then turn on their defenses of internalization, right? So that rather than experiencing their anger toward the other, they turn it back on the self. And you really want them to see that and basically be willing to give that up in favor of facing their feelings honestly. So the more you focus on, okay, I'm really going to help them turn on this defense, that's your goal. You're going to actually get better than if you're focusing on specific discrete skills. So get clear about what's the goal I'm trying to achieve with this person right now, and then you're going to find lots of creative ways to do that. Finally, in preparation, again, instead of actually practicing, it turns out imaginal practice, practicing in your mind, is more effective than actual practice. When they were first doing some of this research with baseball players who were in a batting slump, they did a study where they divided these guys up into 3 different groups. One group did nothing out of the ordinary. They just did what they had already been doing. Another group practiced an hour a day, just batting practice over and over again. The third group only practiced a half an hour a day, and they actually never picked up a bat or went on the field. They just practiced in their mind. They imagined very specifically getting up to the plate, swinging that bat, making contact, feeling it, seeing that ball go out into left field. And at the end, who got better? The people who imagined, right? So even though it was only half the time, first of all, that the other active group did with real practice, right? They actually got much better outcomes. And why is that? Because it really is a lack of belief and confidence that undermines us. So if even though we're trying to treat a particularly difficult patient or do a particularly difficult procedure like a head-on collision in ISTDP, if in your mind you're saying, I know I'm never going to be able to do that. I mean, these other people seem to be able to do it. I've seen it on video. There's no way I'm going to be able to do it. Well, for sure, you never will. Okay, so how do you actually change your mind? How do you change that belief? How do you get confident? It turns out this kind of imaginal practice where you imagine very vividly getting that outcome with a patient. You know, imagining making interventions and they're responding to that intervention in a very positive therapeutic way. If you do that 10 or 15 minutes a day, just watch what happens. So I hope you find these, they're not just tips, but they're real gems that are coming out of the research that you can use to improve your outcomes. And actually, that's the best thing you can do to fight burnout, because it turns out that burnout is not just about working too much or too hard, but it's working hard and not being very effective. So by being more effective, you're going to improve your own morale and your energy and your excitement about the work. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Certainly write to me, leave comments, and I'm going to continue to just kind of do this video blog as things come up and excite me that I want to share with you. Okay, bye-bye. Until next time.